So take Hong Kong, which has a GDP per capita about the equivalent of the United States, which is pretty high up there, outside of the Gulf states, which just, you know, they get their oil. They don't really produce much. They're the richest societies on the planet. What happens in Hong Kong? There's a tiny little safety net, but there's very little government. How did they get so rich? Nobody helped anybody. And that's the beauty of it. You know how they got so rich? Now, Hong Kong, I don't know how many of you ever been to Hong Kong? Anybody ever been to Hong Kong? Okay, everybody should go to Hong Kong once in their life. Hong Kong, 75 years ago, was a fishing village. There was nothing there. And then the Brits showed up, and what they did was establish the rule of law, protected property rights, and other than that, basically left people alone. And millions of people from all over Asia did everything in their power to get to this place. They got on rafts and risked their lives and their kids' lives to get there. And they came there with nothing. And they produced, and they created, and they built. And then when they created, British companies said, oh, that's cool, there's something going on here. And they came in, and it was built, and wealth was created, and poor people rose up. There's still poor people in Hong Kong. But they're far better being poor in Hong Kong than they are better being poor in any other neighbor of Hong Kong. So what happens is consumption is not created through government redistribution. That is a myth. Consumption is created through production. The economy is not driven by consumption. The economy is driven by work, by production. When you consume $1, where do you get a pound? Where do you get the pound from? Hopefully from working. Working is production. You can't consume more than you produce. So it's all about production, and production happens when we're free. Production happens when the government leaves us alone. And the less it leaves us alone, the lower the production we're going to have. And that's been proven time and time again. You look at all these countries. By the way, you know, I talk a lot about this in the lecture I gave last year, so I didn't talk about it in the lecture this year. But example after example after example, free countries do well, regulated, controlled, highly taxed countries do poorly.